That is beautiful. Whoa, oh man, look at all that comb.
Happy girls?
Yeah. So remember I was telling you about follower boards?
Yes.
And I did bring some, but what happens is this gets, say this is that hive, well, they start bulging out, and it all gets stuck together as a gooey mess. So you decide just to, yank this one out, and the queen could be in there and you could squish her. So the follower board is just a, piece of plywood that you put in there. And I'll show
to keep
you.
them from sliding.
So then, the first thing you do is you take the follower board out. Then you got wiggle room in a short synopsis. Now you have wiggle room here. Now with beekeeping, you're supposed to honor the bee space. That's what this is all about. So this is wide, and you see how this is wide? So they're starting to go more, and that's part of the beginning of a gooey mess. It's not the worst thing in the world, but you want to honor your, every time right before you put the lid on, kind of go over to the sides, go like that.
Tuck everyone
Snug it up.
in. Yeah.
And the follower boards, fill out that little area, because a lot of times they'll start building comb over there.
Yeah, I was worried about something.
And even with a follower board, they're it's Mother Nature, and they are busy, and they'll fill up comb in weird places. But yeah, right before you put the lid on, always just snug it up a little bit. And if you're really doing, careful beekeeping, you don't just yank one out of the middle.
No, I don't want to squish a single bee if I can help it.
Well,
gonna happen.
This is a little sloppy what we have to do today.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I had a gal the other day that, had the same idea, and she saw me squishing bees. She says, well, I'm like, okay, I'm going to hand this to you, and you brush off the bees. And she was squishing them left and right. I go, this is beautiful for just, a couple weeks or something. And look at this.
Yeah.
So that was plastic foundation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at that, you guys.
Oh,
I'm going to hold this
wow.
up for you to look at. And you want to keep them in the same order.
Okay.
When you introduce them to the next one. Oh, this thing's even got a little weight to it. Gosh, you guys, that is so cool. It's all new honey that has not been capped. When it's capped, then it's ready to harvest. Right in the middle there, God, look at that little cell. They're starting to cap it. Now this color stuff here, that's the pollen.
Wait, where?
Right here, those color pockets in there.
Yeah, the little
That's whatever
yellow
is the color. And if you plant artichokes,
I see them, yeah.
plant a couple
We have artichokes.
and they'll be purple in there.
Oh, cool.
Usually in the fall,
We'll
it's
get more
purple.
artichokes then.
Yeah, we're going to get more artichokes.
Yeah. I like artichokes just because there's all these little purple spots in here.
Neat.
As far as finding the queen goes, I do a terrible job of finding her. But one way to look for her is she will have her attendants.
Just massed on.
So she'll be in the middle, and there'll be like 6 or 7, 8 attendants around her. Now there's no babies here. This is all honey. So maybe we'll see the babies in the next one.
Yeah, I figured this probably wouldn't be on this frame from the looks of it. Oh, there's some capped right there.
That's capped honey. That means it's ready for harvest. Now you wouldn't harvest that little amount.
But
But
cool.
when you see a frame and it's completely capped, ready for harvest. And the new honey doesn't taste good because it hasn't matured yet. But if you have like 80% capped honey and 20% uncapped, it still is good. But most of the time it's capped through and through, the whole thing, nice and neat. So we took this out of here like this, and we want this in the middle. No problem. Look at that. You guys, your beehive is in action. And very gently moving them away. We can be gentle here. Over there, we're not going to be quite as
Yeah,
gentle.
there's not much we can do about that.
More pollen, more honey. These guys are busy. How many days? How many weeks?
Probably 2, maybe 3.
So, yeah,
2.
14
I think it's more 2 weeks.
14 days. And they were able to do this amount of work.
Wow.
It's so cool. Pollen everywhere. Pollen means they're ready to make babies.
Yes.
Pollen is bee bread.
That's what they feed the babies, right?
Yep, that's a high protein bee bread.
Very
Wow.
cool.
You guys did so good. We're winging it. I didn't do that well on that level.
Yeah, I have a friend who has bees, and she was saying, here, just make a swarm trap as fast as you can.
Uh-huh.
We were going to try and improvise something.
Ooh, they got loud.
And they gave us
Wait.
They sold us the new box.
I know farmers and stuff just go get an old box, you know, and get a swarm and put it in an old box. Say, here you go. Like, whoa.
Here's an actual box of bees.
Yeah. So I didn't see the queen. Anyway, I'm not seeing any evidence of egg laying, but
Maybe they'll-
you know, she's probably still formulating. If they made a new queen, she has to go on a maiden flight, which usually she does pretty quick. So,
I mean, the way I scooped them up, all the bees went with all the bees that remained went into the hive. So I figured I must have gotten the queen, but I don't know. You never know.
oh, you have? No, they're happy,
Yeah.
and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Now, a lot of times, I would take this box, turn it over, and go, pew,
Yeah.
and they all would fall in. But they will find their way in. Tomorrow, you know, we'll have the lid on this. We don't need these right now because we're going to try to save all the room
Yeah.
for the honeycomb.
Yeah.
And then we can fill these out with either follower boards on the ends or something like that. You know, the other thing we do, if this was all full of bees right now, they just go like that, they'd all fall in, and then they would get on there. And these will find their way.
Yeah. I imagine.
That's not a problem. But like I say, trying to be easy on you guys, you know, when you get into your commercial mode, you take this box and you go, and they all go in, and they get a little peeved. But this is just fine, and we can actually leave that open.
Okay.
Oh, look at the memory over here,
Yeah,
huh?
they're just going,
Like,
hey,
well,
hey.
wait a minute, this is where we live.
It was right
This
here.
is not-
Let's put a lid on
minute
this.
ago.
Oh, lid.
Even just that inner cover alone, that's what's called the inner cover,
Yeah.
that'll be good. And you don't really like to let it, you know, too much in the elements, because they're keeping it warm in there, but this is a warm day. But on a cold day, yeah, you know, you're only in there for a minute or two, and you put it back together. Some people will drape a towel over it while they're working.
Get this
Yeah,
out of
drag
the way.
those over with us.
Oh, there's an entrance reducer. I don't know
Okay.
if that's a thing we should keep in there or
What's
it's
yeah,
just in
it's
there.
fine.
loose. Okay.
It's
Yeah, I
fine.
put it in the medium.
Yep.